Calvados. All you need to know about Calvados in 10 minutes or less. This is a traditional apple brandy produced in France. Characteristics. Calvados takes its name from the Calvados department in Normandy, where it has been produced for centuries. There are around 300 Calvados producers in Normandy, but only about 30 of them export their products outside of France. If we compare it to cognac, more than 90% is estimated to be exported outside the country, all the opposite to Calvados. Ingredients. The primary ingredient in Calvados is apples, though up to 30% of pears may be used in some additions. Pears add sweetness to the liqueur, complementing the flavors of the apples. There are over 200 varieties of apples authorized for Calvados production, categorized as bitter, bittersweet, sweet, and acidic, each contributing a unique flavor. Some of the most frequently used apple varieties are Facrin Rouge, strong in tannins; Douchemont, excellent for long aging; Mété, a sweet variety; Humble, acidic; Petit Jaune, and Bédan. Origins. Calvados has been produced in Normandy for centuries, with historical records dating back to the 16th century, when French farmers distilled cider to create a stronger spirit. Initially, this distilled cider was used primarily for medicinal purposes, but over time, it evolved into what is nowadays Calvados. In 1942, a decree recognized Calvados Pays d'Auge as an appellation d'origine contrôlée and protected it from war requisitions. Calvados produced in other areas under the title Appellation d'origine réglementée Calvados were promoted to Appellation d'origine contrôlée on September in 1984, and Calvados de Fuente gained official recognition on 1997. Since then, Calvados has been divided into 3 distinct appellation areas. Varieties. Calvados can be classified by the region in which it is produced or by age. Fine Calvados represents a category of Calvados that has been aged for a minimum of 2 years. It is a relatively short aging process compared to other varieties of Calvados. Fine and BS, or very special, are the same age category. Fine is a traditional French term still used by many producers, while very special is a more modern label and may be more familiar to international consumers, borrowed from cognac classification. VSOP, or Very Superior Old Pale Calvados, is a category of Calvados that has a higher level of aging and quality compared to Fine and BS Calvados. This variety must be aged for a minimum of 4 years. Calvados XO, or Extra Old, is a premium category of Calvados known for its exceptional aging. It must be aged for at least 6 years in barrels, and while it is more expensive than all the other Calvados, it is highly recognized for its quality. Production process. First, harvesting. Calvados begins with the harvesting of apples. Different varieties of apples are selected for their characteristic flavors. Some are chosen for their sweetness, while others add acidity. The apples are harvested starting in late September and ending around December. Second, crushing. After harvesting, the apples are washed to remove impurities. Then, they are sent to a crusher. The goal of this machine is not to reduce the apples to juice immediately, but rather to break the fruit's skin for it to be efficiently pressed to release the juice later in another machine, which is the main ingredient in Calvados. Third, fermentation. The apple juice is transferred to fermentation tanks, where it transforms into dry cider. The yeast present on the apple initiates the fermentation process, converting the sugars in the juice into alcohol. The juice naturally ferments over several weeks or months. Fourth, distillation. Depending on the appellation, After fermentation, the cider is either single distilled in a column still or double distilled in a pot still, and then it is transferred to oak barrels for aging. 5th, aging. Calvados must be aged for a minimum of 2 years to be legally classified as Calvados, and some are aged for much longer periods. Some producers store the Calvados in large new oak barrels, and then transfer the liquid to smaller, older barrels for extended aging, while others transfer it to large pots before aging to minimize oak influence. 6th, blending. After aging, Calvados is blended to achieve the desired flavor. Master blenders select and combine spirits from different barrels to create a final product. A typical Calvados blend includes 40 to 60% bittersweet apples, 10 to 20% acidic apples, and the remaining are sweet or bitter. 7. Bottling. Once the aging and blending process are complete, the Calvados is filtered and bottled. Some Calvados may be diluted with water to reach the desired alcohol content, and then Calvados is labeled and packed for distribution. Regions of production. Calvados can only be produced in Normandy, located in the northwest part of the country. Within Normandy, there are several key regions known for the production of Calvados, each with its own characteristics. Just like I said before, it can be classified by the region in which it is produced. This is the generic Calvados appellation and includes much of Lower Normandy. Although the method of distillation isn't mandatory, most Calvados with this label are distilled ones with a column still. This appellation includes the eastern part of the Calvados department and parts of the Haute and Joux departments. Though they can be distilled with a maximum of 30% pears, they generally will include a much smaller percentage and often not at all. Calvados Pays d'Auge must be double distilled in copper pot stills, kind of like cognac. This appellation in southern Normandy includes the districts of Manche, Haute, and Mayenne. It is the smallest of the three appellations, characterized by its use of minimum 30% pears, though most producers use around 60%, on minimum aging of 3 years. Popular brands. This is one of the oldest Calvados producers, founded in 1815 by Pierre-Auguste Boulard. Since then, it has been family owned and operated for over 5 generations. Boulard Calvados is made from apples harvested exclusively on the Boulard family plantations, ensuring the highest quality. This is another well-established Calvados producer since 1923, founded by Alexandre Lecomte. He was a wine trader in Normandy, but one day he decided to sell his business and dedicate himself to the Calvados production. In 1945, his son Alexandre took over the family business and bought the first traditional pot still of the house. This is one of the most recognizable names in the world of Calvados. In the year 1900, Magloire became the most important brand of Calvados in France. It is also one of the oldest houses, founded in 1821, taking the name from Dominique Magloire, known for serving remarkable Calvados. If you haven't tried it yet, you should do it and judge by yourself. And if you want to know more about a specific or your favorite liquor, leave a like and a comment below.